hear us in the airwaves. Sonia Green today. Vicky Fleetwood, we know how much pace she's got from Sevens days. Vicky Fleetwood, she's over.
Hey folks, thank you very much for pressing play on another episode of the Women's Rugby Show. As you can see, we are here at an absolutely drenched Allianz Park for another round of top-class women's rugby from the Premier 15s. Now, after Saracens Women's last second victory against Loughborough Lightning last week, the theme of this show has to be comebacks. Forget Liverpool AC Milan in the Champions League final. Forget Tiger Woods. Can you name me one individual or team in sport who's got a better comeback record than Saracens Women?
I could think of one person.
Original Women's Rugby Show presenter Bex Chaplin.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I'm back, aren't I?
Fair play. Do you remember how to do this?
Of course I do. You lot do this. And in the meantime, we'll get going with previewing the two teams that we're featuring today. Saracens Women and Worcester Warriors Women. So as we've come in to dry off, I think I figured out the fact that we each choose a team and then take 3 points for analysis.
Correct.
Okay, good. Well, I will kick off with Saracens then. So I think that the biggest shock of the season so far has not actually been Saracens' incredible comeback last week, but actually the fact that as a team they don't seem to be firing on all cylinders. They did beat Bristol in the opening game of the season, but it wasn't a convincing win, and the Bears actually got 4 tries. Yeah. Then they beat Richmond 46-0. But we look at the fact that their fierce rivals Harlequin actually put 101 points past them. Yeah. And then of course we have the fact that they had a near loss last week against Loughborough Lightning. You could look at it totally the other way and think that we've got to applaud their incredible resilience and the fighting spirit that we know and love about Saracens. But if I'm allowed to put it into perspective for 1 minute, at the same point last year, Saracens had bagged 146 points and only conceded 12 points. Whereas this year, they've still got 109 points, but they've conceded 46. So they have had a tougher teams in the start of this campaign, but with Quins flying high, it just seems like something hasn't quite clicked with the champs yet.
Okay, great. So my turn. Worcester Warriors Women, we've seen them already on the show, and we know they're not a bad side, but the problem is that statistics don't show that. So if you look at the first 3 games of this season, they've shipped in 130 points and have only scored 3 tries. We featured them on the show previously. They played Harlequins Women. Obviously, we know that Harlequins are going to be one of the favourites for the title, and they did put up a really good fight against them. They're dogged in defence, they made some good breaks going forward, and they've got some young and exciting players. Problem is that the longer a game goes on, the harder it is for them.
So we know Saracens have got quality all over the pitch, but I actually think one of the issues is that they've got a growing number of injuries, and they've got quite a few new faces. So if we look at their injury list, the Cleos are out injured, fly half Harrison is injured, Rosie Gallagher's been out with an illness for the last few weeks, Gulliver's retired, and Laurie Cattell's not been with the squad. So that's quite a list. And then of course we've got a few new signings, and they've had a few promotions from the development squad. However, it's not all doom and gloom. The club have been waxing lyrical all week about Canadian front row Mackenzie Carson. Now, Mackenzie is actually the club's joint top try scorer at the moment, alongside captain and winger Lottie Clapp. Now, the two of them have both got 3, so I think that is a name to watch out for today. And the other name that I would actually watch out for today, another new signing, is Scottish fly half Lisa Martin. Now, Lisa has been quietly going about her business, but she has been setting up tries and kicking between them at sticks just for fun. So 2 names to watch out for today, Lisa Martin and Mackenzie Carson.
And then, I guess, from Worcester Warriors side, sticking with players, they've got a number of players themselves. I mentioned exciting young players, so 2 to watch out for today for the Warriors. First of all, front row, Akina Gondway. She is an absolute warrior, excuse the pun, when it comes to tackling, when it comes to the breakdown, when it comes to those set plays. And she does like to nip in with a try or 2 as well, as we discovered last week. And also Alex Callender, their number 8. She will be integral in linking that play between the forwards and the backs.
So tactically, Saracens should win this. But if we look at the games against Bears and Lightning, they actually went behind early, so it's obviously much harder to come back from a deficit. So my humble advice would be to tell them to switch on from kickoff, if not before, to try and get the early lead.
Brilliant, exactly. So my final point then, if we look at this fixture from last season, it was a one-way street. Sarries won it 43-7. So there's very little that I can say tactically that could help the visitors stem the black tide, so to speak. However, what is interesting is that Alex Osterbury has included a lot of young and new faces in this Saracens women's side. So if I was in charge of Worcester, I would say get in those youngsters' faces, cause them pressure, force them to make as many mistakes as possible. Also, as we know with Sarries, sometimes they can see the red mist. So if there's a lot of yellow or red cards, they really have to pounce on that opportunity, and it could be anyone's game. But really, it's not looking so likely for Worcester.
So what we're both saying is Sarries for the win?
Sarries for the bonus point win.
So how are you feeling about today? Are you nervous about the game?
Yeah, I'm always nervous when we come to Saracens and one of the top 4 teams. But we have the young players, and we have the ability to turn it on. The belief. The trouble is the belief in the team. The players have to believe. And after the last couple of weeks, turmoil we've had has been a bit difficult. But,
and is that in reference to the coaching situation?
Yeah. The coaching scenario has been a bit difficult with Roy being sacked, or however services no longer required, and we've sort of had to fight to build up from there. And then last week against Richmond, where there was no fight, just sort of epitomised the end of Roy's tenure.
And so, what do you think the key is that Worcester have struggled to get that elusive win?
I think it's mainly down to experience. We've got a lot of injuries through experienced players, and we've still got a young side, but not an inexperienced side. So when it comes to the part of being in the dark, we're not strong enough to come out of that. Mindset's not right. Some players break down, give up, don't go through the fundamentals correctly, and others keep fighting, but when you haven't got somebody on the left or the right of you that's doing the job, it sort of lets the team down.
And do you think the season started differently in terms of like the way the players are performing, or do you think it's a similar story to last year?
No, I think we've started off probably better than we did last year. We've had a really, really hard start to the season. We've been away to every London side, bar Harlequins. We've kept it, or hopefully from today, we've kept it under 50 points, and we've scored in every game. We've also, due to having new players out injured and senior players out injured who've got lots of international caps, it's been very difficult to lead, and maybe our backup teams and backup players are not at that level, and that's the problem. But we can do it. It will change, and with the new director of rugby, whoever that may be, and the coaches, the girls will respond to that straight away.
So now we've got Saracens fans. How excited are you for today's game?
Very excited.
We've been to all their games so far. So we've been to Loughborough, we've been to their home matches here, and it just gets better. So talking about excitement, very excited today.
Yeah. So you're saying that it gets better. What do you think is different to the start of this season to last season?
Well, first of all, the other teams in the league. So that you can start with those. They've got tougher, and it's proved, especially last week with Loughborough. Loughborough's first half were amazing. Their number 10 controlled the game, or the first half, and then Saracens had to go into more gears rather than cruising first or second. They had to go to fourth, fifth, maybe sixth gear to try and win.
Following their last-minute win against Loughborough Lightning last week, Saracens' director of rugby makes a total of 5 changes to his starting 15. Jodie Retty returns from Scotland's tour of South Africa to start at number 8, pushing Marley Packer to 7. For the forward, May Campbell pulls on the shirt at hooker, which means Mackenzie Carson moving into the back row. This relegates England international Vicky Fleetwood to the bench. There's also a debut for summer signing Molly Morrissey. We're excited to see what she can do after joining from Gloucester Hartbury. The solitary change in the back sees Welsh touch rugby international Jade Knight coming in for Eloise Hayward at 9. And on the bench are some more new Sarries signings, Canadian prop Alex Ellis and fellow forward Donna Rose.
Just like today's opponents, Worcester Warriors Women make a number of changes since their previous outing. Taz Bricknell moves into the front row, and it's a new look back row with Laura Thomas, Alex Callender and Sinead Harries playing 6, 7 and 8 respectively. Jade Shekels comes back into the starting lineup to take the place of Vicky Foxwell, and Zoe Healy swaps roles in the back three with Caitlin Lewis at wing. Fullback Mary Ann Gittings and wing Cara Clark complete their new look back line. We could see Wales international Angarad De Smit for the first time this season if she comes off the bench. Now we hand over to Johnny Hammond to take you through the game.
Bright start this from Saracens. Lisa Martin puts extra width on that pass. Lottie Clapp is off her wing, and Sarah McKenna. Easy start for Saracens. Too easy. Knight, Bottoman, so happy with ball in hand. Then Lottie Clapp. Oh, it's opening up for Lottie Clapp. You can't afford to give the Saracens captain that much space. Lisa Martin adds the 2. Sonia Green still performing at this level so brilliantly. Saracens pack driving. Just about brought down. That's good initial defence from Worcester. Can they repel Saracens though? They're over. Referee's arm is up. Looks like Marley Packer underneath the pile. The runners are ushered back, and Lisa Martin, no trouble at all. Megan Goddard, good strike, and Worcester are on the board. Such a physical start from Saracens to this game. Continuing it all the way through now to almost half time. Worcester could do nothing about this. Look at this from the Saracens packet. Penalty coming, free play for Saracens. Knight, it's out wide. McKenna, Lakaretabua is in at the corner just before half time. We want more Saracens. Martin, lovely pass again. Lottie Clapp and McKenna combined in the midfield. McKenna, Sarah McKenna, who's on hand? They're lining up to score. It's May Campbell. 29 points to 3. Drive off the base of the scrum. Making too many easy yards all afternoon, Saracens here. Rocky Clark picks and goes, and she's still got it, hasn't she? Lisa Martin has brought her kicking boots this afternoon, certainly. Another 2 points for Saracens, another 2 points for Lisa Martin. Haywood whipped away. They come straight through Carson. Strong fed. Vicky Fleetwood's on hand. Neat step, neat try. Up to the 50-point mark, Saracens now. Pierce in the airwaves. Sonia Green today. Vicky Fleetwood. Vicky Fleetwood, we know how much pace she's got from Sevens days. Vicky Fleetwood. She's over.
So, Lindsay, a frustrating result for you guys. Can you take away any positives from that?
Yeah, definitely. I think there were positives. I think
we tried to get down into the right areas of the pitch. There was moments in that game where I thought we played really well, we put some good phases together. We just need to find a way of making that consistent throughout the 80 minutes.
Yeah, and it's such a young team, isn't it? How do you remain positive and keep the morale up?
I think we've just got to, remind everyone we are doing good things. There's good bits in that, and then we just need to build on the positives to try and get that full 80-minute performance out.
Because there were some moments of brilliance, and then it just seems like with some drop balls or some sloppy passes, it just seems like it's not quite there.
Yeah, I think at times we lose that composure. We get excited.
Yeah,
I think it's great, like our want to play, and our want to play some nice, quick, free-flowing rugby. But sometimes our skills are letting us down. So we just need to, try and get an older head on. Think, we're in a good area of the pitch. Let's just slow it down, stay in control, and build from that.
And where do you go from here? Because you've got a tough game next again, I think. So what's the plan between now and the next?
Just a bit of digest on our own tonight. Well, we'll go into training on Tuesday. We'll do our team reflection analysis, look at the positives from today's game, the negatives, and then build our training around how we're going to play our next game against Hartbury next weekend.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
4th win from 4, congratulations. How does it feel to go out there and get that 4th out of 4?
Yeah, fantastic. Last week was a really tough game. We came back from 17-0 down. And that second half last week, we had to, like I said last week, we were really honest about some of the mistakes we made. We've had a very, very tough week, but it shows that everything we've done this week has paid off because we played so much better this week. Worcester are a great side, but we're really, really pleased with our performance today.
You talk about the last game, perhaps the last couple of games, maybe you can be honest and say Saracens hasn't really clicked so far this season, but today you did. What was the difference? Why today?
We don't start very well, so we've changed our warm-up. We're all on point with our game plan. We came out absolutely firing today, and that was something that we needed to work on. And from the off, we were 1 to 15, we were smashing people, and I think we just lost that intensity the last few games, but today we had it. So yeah, really, really pleased with our performance.
You've got quite a few new and young faces in the squad today. How do you feel they got on?
Yeah, fantastic. It's great to have Shorty at 10, Lisa Martin at 10. She's had a great game controlling us today. With Jade at 9, she was so much more talkative, which really helped us forwards. So it was really great to have that 9-10 partnership working really well today.
And personally, you had a very strong game. Worcester are known for their dogged defence.
Yeah.
What is it that you sort of felt that you needed to do personally to really make an impact on this game?
I had quite a lot of work on today after last week actually, but one thing was just to come out more fired up to take it to the gain line. Rocky did an outstanding job. She led from the front and that fired us all up. We just felt more aggressive today, and we gave a really good platform for our back. So yeah, for me personally, it was just to work on my aggression, and I think I did that today.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you have got the Women's Rugby Show and Rugby RFC Player of the Match.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And well done today for the win.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Oh my days, talk about comebacks. That was probably the greatest comeback in the history of sport.
Adam, what are you talking about? Saracens dominated the entire game.
No, I'm talking about you coming back to the show.
Oh, stop. Thank you very much. Right, let's see if I'm not too rusty and remember how to do this. So, number 1, thank you for watching actually. Number 1, if you could give us a cheeky like for this video. Number 2, subscribe of course to our channel. 3, follow us across social media, all of the networks. And number 4, tell everyone, of course, about the sport and, of course, about the Women's Rugby Show.
Yep, absolutely. And if you haven't done so yet, guys, please do check out our sponsor, Rugby RFC. We'll put links to their website and their social media below. If you haven't seen it yet, they are a bespoke women's rugby brand that make clothing for all positions, all shapes, all sizes. They've got such a variety on their website. I'm really jealous that I'm not allowed any because it is exclusively for women's rugby players. So do go and check out our sponsor. But before we go, I just want to say thank you to all of you out there that's been following, watching, supporting the Women's Rugby Show. We try and improve episode on episode, so if you have any comments, do feel free to comment below, send us a DM. If we improve, it's because of you, so thank you very much.
Right, I think that for today is a wrap. Let's get out of here.